Pat Robertson once said, it's a long downward slide that will lead to legalizing sex with ducks if two men can stand side by side. God, I hope he's right, 'cause if gay marriage becomes lawful, I'm gonna find myself a duck and legally do something awful. Ducks, sex with ducks, we'll do it in the rain. Ducks, yeah, ducks, got those web feet on my brain. We'll find a pond, we'll find a puddle, put your beak in mine and we'll cuddle. It's a feeling I can't name, when sex with ducks and gay marriage are one and the same.
Hello.
So does
welcome.
that make Howard Marvel's official first gay character?
Disney's first LGBT character. This time it's for real.
Take that, Jack Whitehall.
I think unless the
And,
B stands for
and
bestiality,
Josh
that
Gad.
doesn't play. Guys, welcome to Random Movie Roulette. We are here, starting a little bit late due to a small carpentry issue, but we...
If at any point during this episode the couch just falls out from under us,
You'll know why.
We fixed it with a pizza box.
This is the highest stakes episode of Random Movie Roulette yet. At any point, Jack, Mike, and our special guest,
We could
Anthony
go down,
from Cinemarketing,
guys.
could just collapse to the ground. So.
At the end, I'm just gonna bounce once, and the whole couch is just gonna fall.
We are here to talk a piece of shit movie that I hate, and I hate that we had to watch, but guess whose host pick it was, unsurprisingly.
yeah, but
Give me that.
guess who supplied me with this wonderful film?
That's true, but I didn't think you'd ever subject me to it. It's
That's
like
fair.
when Ronald... Well, I'm not going to say that. Anyways.
Say it.
Nope,
No.
we're moving on.
do it.
Let's just move on. Anyway,
So, Mike, why Howard the Duck? Why'd you pick
why
Howard the
did
Duck?
Howard the Duck? Well, one, I said because Jack got it for me, and I figured I was like, well, I'm gonna have to get some use out of this Blu-ray purchase some way or another. And me and Anthony, we had recently watched this in a group chat. Shout out to the Sofa Club if anyone in there's watching. They might be joining in tonight in the chat. Hopefully, who knows? Anyway, we all watched Howard the Duck, thinking it would be like some fun, cringe lord, funny thing to watch. And then we came to the same sad realization that Lewis did at the beginning of this commentary, as you'll hear on the Patreon, that the movie is close to 2 hours long. And
really is.
about 45 minutes of it is literally just like, it's like a Richard Linklater movie. They're like hanging out in a diner, and they're like, "What?" And we're like, "Why the fuck is this
Always
still
gotta
happening?"
go back to Linklater, don't you?
All right,
It
well,
took
we'll
20 years
definitely-
to make, Michael.
We'll definitely get more into the specifics of it, but we do have a special guest here tonight, Anthony from Cinemarketing. That's a podcast that you guys do together, you and Mike. So why don't you guys tell us what you guys do over there?
Yeah, so we
The trailers lie, but we don't.
Yeah, we take the podcast is about movies that were like either heavily aggressively marketed or movies that were misleading in their marketing, and we take a look at all the promotional materials that were leading up to the movie, and we
Do a lot of research.
Yeah, determine whether or not the movie was accurate in depicting the movie that it was being sold in the marketing. So we had some fun there. We had an episode with Lewis on. A recent episode that's up is Godzilla 2014. So that's up on our podcast feed on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and anywhere else there. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CineMarketingPod.
Yeah,
And-
so if you ever thought an A24 movie would be exciting, this is the podcast for you.
I have a question for you guys. Like, why marketing? What about that kind of made you want to start a podcast?
We got in an argument about Get Out.
Okay, continue.
Literally, I just said that Get Out is being recognized. I felt Get Out was being recognized for the wrong reasons. I felt like Get Out being marketed as an African American horror movie, which is something there's not a lot of. You know what I mean? Besides what, Candyman, maybe?
Yeah, not enough of. I think you could make the argument.
And that's a good thing, but advertisers saw that and go, oh, so we just got to make more movies like Get Out. And you look at even Us, the way Us was marketed was just like Get Out. The way that a Lovecraft show was marketed.
Lovecraft
it all
Country,
looks like Get Out. It all looks like Get Out, and they're just trying to capitalize on something that they don't fully understand as to why it was popular. And that really pissed me off. And that's how we came up with
Then again,
Cinemarketing.
we also
So this
like,
came from a very hateful place of just
well, not
anger.
really hateful.
And...
hateful toward the people that deserve to
no,
be hated.
yes, I'm sorry, an angry place. Hateful was a
we
poor choice.
We
of
also like
words.
watching cartoons and commercials and trailers for like old movies. So we decided we could like shape that like format into like what we do in the show, where we watch old commercials and old trailers for movies and like pick apart like what are the funny moments that they highlight in every trailer.
Yeah, every
and stuff
kid's
like that.
trailer has one line in it that kids are just meant to repeat incessantly all the time.
I'm making waffles.
Yeah, shit like that.
Fair enough. So yeah, I have been on the podcast. I very much enjoyed my time with you guys. I also listened to your first episode on Kangaroo Jack, which is fantastic. And
Yeah, that
Thanks.
was really the starting point of it. Like the
It's all
inception
downhill
talk
from
point.
here.
No, but
folks.
that was like the real start because we were like Kangaroo Jack was like the ultimate movie that like lied to you in the marketing and was
Yeah.
just like shameless about
Cons.
it.
We got cons.
So
we all remember. It was-
Satoshi
I'm
Cons.
sure that Howard the Duck would make a great candidate, but I think I need to put this movie on like a 5-year hiatus before I ever think about revisiting
I will
it.
spontaneously combust if I see this movie again within 3 years.
I feel like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy kind of lied to me in the marketing.
I totally feel.
Yep.
I think I like walked out of that movie and I was like 11, and I was like, this is not what I
What
signed
11
on.
I
year old
remember
is going to see
asking my dad
Hitchhiker's
to take
Guide.
me and
Someone
my
who was lied to.
Yeah, no, I remember asking my dad to take me and my sister to go see it, and we saw it, and I was like,
all
"Oh, it's just like a
fucking-
space comedy," and it's like, no, it's like some droll British satire.
It was dull.
Yeah, you go into Hitchhiker's
Horrible
Guide to the
thing.
Galaxy and it's all 40-year-old dudes in Hawaiian shirts and Ray-Ban glasses, fucking dorks who read the book.
Yeah, well, I never want to watch Howard the Duck again, but we will have to right now sit through the trailer for Howard the Duck.
Across the sea of stars lies another world, a world almost exactly like ours. This is where he lives. He's 27 years old, single but searching. Favorite sports, windsurfing and Aikido. Favorite pastimes, cigars and sex. He has everything except fulfillment. And then one night, it happens.
Hey, good buddy, are you home?
He has a very sudden midlife crisis. He lands in Cleveland.
You do know why you were sent to me?
Listen to me, small visitor. I can explain how you got here.
Maybe you're here for some greater purpose, some cosmic cause.
Here, he's forced to reassess his career goals,
You went to med school?
to explore new relationships, to redefine his self-image,
I'm sorry, we don't allow pets on the premises.
to adjust to a changing lifestyle, until he discovers just who he really is.
Oh
A duck in big trouble.
That's a duck, man.
Howard the Duck, trapped in a world he never made.
So this trailer did two things for me. One, reminded me, God, there's so much of that movie was with the fucking airplane bit that they showed. Way too
So
much.
much.
And two, made me realize how good that Blu-ray transfer actually is. We watched it on the Blu-ray, and night and day compared to what we just saw. It's actually like pretty good looking overall. I don't know anything about that release, but
The beauty of ILM and their
The beauty of film, which is just infinite resolution.
yes. So, Mike, again, this is your
and
fault.
conflict.
It is my fault, and it is.
Yeah.
And now I feel like it is my duty that I have to be the one to recount what happens in Howard the Duck.
Because we sure as fuck
Yeah.
don't remember.
Yeah,
And we literally just watched it.
yeah,
And
and
the
patrons,
trailer.
you'll get a full, really insane commentary that went way off
And,
the rails.
yeah.
A bunch on patreon.com/armorlet. You guys can get all that sweet content for a low price. And we really appreciate the support. But yeah, so it's still very fresh to us, but also it's very
It
unclear
feels like
what
a
was going on.
million years ago. It's like the beach from old in celluloid form.
We apparently
Did you
just
finally see old?
Yes, I did.
Oh my god.
You're very old.
And it was just as
Did we
wild as this.
Did we deserve to get hate comments on YouTube about how we don't understand it?
No, I think that person didn't understand it. But
That sounds more accurate.
So I think you heard it in the trailer. The most disturbing part about Howard the Duck is that he is 27 years old.
I was going to say it was
same,
you. I
he's
thought-
the same age as me and Anthony
I thought the most disturbing thing in the trailer was that it said sex. That duck fucks.
Yeah, like,
Fuck how old he is.
how
He
did-
has sex.
I think COVID stole a year from all our lives, so I think we can say we're a year younger than we are. So you're really just 26.
I could roll with that.
Yeah.
I always still say that because I have such a baby face that I look like I'm in my mid-20s still.
You
so
really, you don't even look like you're in your mid-20s. You look like you just turned 21.
I could play Evan Hansen in the movie.
You would
even
be
though
more
I'm-
believable.
Yeah.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Guys, I just want to give a shout out to the people we have in the chat right now: Mark, Cody, and someone under the username Fabulu, who apparently came here for Pokemon Unite and seems disappointed about that. I guess we're streaming under Pokemon Unite right now. Don't know why that happened,
I
but
think that's Rissa's name. Hi, Rissa.
welcome. Hi, Rissa. I don't know who you are, but welcome to the chat. Cody asked in watching the trailer, was that a butt? I don't know exactly what you're referring to,
There-
but
probably, yeah.
way too much nudity in this movie.
Yeah.
Human nudity.
Okay, within the first 5 minutes of this movie.
4
we're-
minutes.
We're introduced to Howard the Duck and his lifestyle on his duck planet. He walks into his duck apartment
And just
in his
starts
duck
quacking
world.
off.
Yeah. he pulls
Turns
out,
on the duck television and pulls a duck beer out of the duck fridge.
He pulls out his play duck to jerk his duck penis off to some duck ladies and their duck titties, and then
Sits on the duck couch.
Yeah.
And then answers
And then-
the duck answering
and then his
machine.
duck couch gets blasted through the apartment building.
The duck apartment
He
building.
crashes through many other duck residents' apartments, including one duck lady who's naked in the bathtub, and you see her fucking puppet duck titties as he blasts off into outer space.
There's actually
This
two
is all
pairs.
before the title comes up.
There's actually two pairs of duck tits in the sequence. There's also the in the play duck. There's very clear duck nipples.
And
you
they're
can almost see
all
duck coochie.
foul.
Yeah, I think
Jesus Christ.
Wait, I really like to imagine that in that duck world, it's like the Flintstones. Everything's a rock pun. Literally, it's just everything's a duck something.
But it is like you see like the posters that he has in his bedroom for
Yeah.
like breeders of the lost quack or something. some
And we
bullshit.
just take it for granted.
yeah for granted.
Is that a duck pun? Is that just a rock pun?
No, but we were mentioning the Flintstones and
rock.
rocks.
that one rocked.
Yeah, I think he was watching like the Duck Price is Right or something like that, and then like
The duck price is that what it's called?
Duck Bob Barker.
yeah, and so this is all before the title even comes up, and I have to imagine that at this point, if you're a parent and you take your kids to see this Howard the Duck movie, it's like, oh, it's a duck, he's a puppet, he walks around, and it's a cute duck,
It's
whatever,
not a puppet.
whatever. He's
It's a grown man in a suit.
Anyway, you go to take your kids to see what you think is going to be like some cute talking duck movie, and in the first like 3 minutes before the title even comes up, you see fucking titties on your screen. Is that at that point, if you're a good parent, you take your kids out of the theater and you ask for a refund?
Yeah.
So I can't imagine. I'm trying to think. Like there are many points in this movie where I'm like, all right, is this the point where the parents walked out? I mean, because if it wasn't the duck tits, there's many other things that will come up
I could
later.
see
that-
parents saying, okay, hopefully the kids, like, didn't really notice the duck tits, won't ask questions about it, whatever. By the time he's, like, cleaning up the sex spa...
Yeah,
it's-
well,
No, dude,
let's get into
you gotta
that.
remember, this
Time
is
to
an
go,
80s
kids.
PG. An 80s PG is a lot different than
This is
today's
still
PG.
this is still post Temple of Doom and Gremlins. PG-13 existed in 1986.
Oh,
so-
did it?
Yeah, but at the
There's
same
no excuse
time,
for it
like,
then.
you don't
No
want your
shit,
kids...
it's rated PG.
You don't want
Do
your...
you think they would change the rating after PG-13?
With
No
the
one
duck
watched it.
condom,
I-
especially...
It has to be that like
The
no
censors
one.
didn't even watch
Yeah.
it. They're like, it's a duck movie? How long is it? PG.
This
Yeah.
must
Put it
be
out.
cute.
Put it
I feel
out.
like that's even what the MPAA does nowadays, where it's like, okay, why is
It's not even the MPAA anymore. It's just the MPA now.
They removed an A. They're not American.
Yeah.
Un-American.
I guess because they also probably censor movies from other countries as well.
Oh, good.
Or at least involve other countries.
Those
in it.
damn French.
So then Howard the Duck gets blasted into Earth. He gets blasted to
Yeah, which
to-
by the way, how does it happen? I don't
so
get
it's
it.
revealed at the end that like whatever this fucking science mumbo jumbo that like they were creating some sort of like I guess teleporter from like other dimensions to pull Howard the Duck for some reason. I don't remember why.
Because the fucking TVA won't leave anyone alone.
And he gets pulled to Cleveland, Ohio.
And he's like, Cleveland? That sounds like a strange name for this planet. And then like Leah Thompson is who is like a punk rocker girl who is about to get sexually
Marty
assaulted.
McFly's mom.
She's about to get like assaulted by a bunch of other punk rockers in the alleyway, and then Howard the Duck nobly white knights and defends her against the potential rapists.
let's not act like it's bad that he stopped a rape here.
Yeah.
It was an objectively good
She
thing
also
that Howard the
fights
Duck
back.
did.
It's not
Yes.
like full on Kirsten Dunst Spider-Man 1, like, oh, please help me.
Also, what a weird joke to do about like Cleveland being the name of the planet, as if his planet
is
which
Duckland.
Which is the same in every way to Earth, but like, what, they don't have cities? Like, it's all just one place
Also,
called
the
Duckland?
Earth, also the planet is in the shape of an egg.
Yeah, that's not that easy to
Does
get.
that mean
also-
it'll hatch
and also
into a
his
giant
planet-
monster duck?
What's up?
Does that mean like it'll someday hatch into a giant monster space duck?
Do you
Oh,
think
yeah, is
that any of
something
these
gestating there?
fuckers ever blast out of the walls and have a big cum shot?
I think the biggest difference between the planets is one of them is full of ducks,
Yeah.
and the other
Yeah.
one has humans.
Oh yeah, I think we won as far as what's the cooler planet.
Are you serious? One's a planet with duck tits.
Yeah, no. I will take the non-duck tit planet any day.
Did this movie really make you just not want to fuck ducks?
Yeah, this is what did it. That was the final nail in the coffin. It is oddly sexual, and I feel like there's a lot of jokes to be made there. It's also weirder watching it through the lens that like George Lucas was seemingly like a major creative force behind it.
It's a Lucasfilm production, Lewis.
Right. He didn't direct this movie.
No.
He's the
He
executive
produced
producer.
it.
Right.
He
The
threw
direct-
money at it.
The director of this movie is William Huck.
What else did William Huck do?
I don't know, but I'm sure that it was probably this has to be a career killer. Like I can't imagine getting
I'm
a
surprised
second
he didn't
chance.
Alan
after this.
Smithy this.
I don't know. White people have been failing upwards for decades. We see it a lot now.
Adam
the guy,
Sandler.
Yeah, Adam Sandler.
Now he's in
There-
a Safdie Brothers shit. Who would have guessed?
There is a goal. I was telling them during the stream. We all know how much I love Golden Girls on here, and there's a Golden Girls joke where Rose works at a counseling center, and Dorothy comes to pick her up to go on a trip, and she's like, "Come on, we gotta go." And Rose says, "Not now, Dorothy. I have to console this man. He was a principal backer on Howard the Duck." So this movie was legendarily bad before the internet.
Some Golden Girls writer picked up the newspaper that day and went, "Huh, Howard the Duck bombs."
Guys,
Gonna
no
write
one
the
is
joke.
safe from the Golden Girls. They are an
should do
equal
for
opportunity
being
offender.
Oh wait, no! You know what he did direct, Lewis? William Huck. He directed Messiah of Evil, your very first episode on the
What?
Glory Picture Show.
Wait,
Yes.
hold the fuck on. Wait, really?
He's the
He's
direct-
a director on Messiah of Evil. There's like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I mean that checks out. But wow, okay.
Gloria Katz, who was the writer and producer for this, also
was the co-director
was
on
on
Messiah of Evil.
So
So did
Howard
George
the
Lucas
Duck
see Messiah of Evil and
comes
go,
from the makers of Messiah of Evil.
Can I just say, this is just making me sad that we didn't watch Messiah of Evil. This movie is like awful. It's so long, and I feel like we didn't talk about this enough. I sat down thinking like, oh, there's no possible way they made this movie longer than an hour and a half. Who would ever make a Howard the Duck movie more than 90 minutes long?
Yeah,
and then Mike comes in like hat in hand and seems legitimately like a little apologetic when he tells us that it is an hour and 50 minutes long.
Yeah.
And I was sad the whole time about it. The first 15 minutes of the movie, I was just there like, I can't believe the next 2 hours of my life
And-
I'm going to be looking at this weird, disgusting little duck.
What's worse is the credits are over a musical number, so you
And then
can't
there's
escape
more
them.
after the credits.
And you know what else is strange? Because like normally the way that we do this, like, all right, we gotta like, you have it all set up, get down, we gotta watch this movie, and you were like sitting there, or like eating pizza, whatever. I'm like, we gotta get a move on because this movie is an hour and 50, and you're like, what? No, it can't.
It's what?
It's impossible.
That's disgusting.
I thought we were killing it on time. I mean, carpentry, again, was kind of an issue as to why we started
Yeah.
late, but a part of it was that I thought this was going to be a shorter movie than it was. And we would have had more time to fix the couch that they're sitting on right now. Again, at any moment, that couch could give out and they could fall to the floor.
You know what I bet Howard's favorite movie is, though?
Oh, God.
Quack to the Future.
All right.
With his co-star Leah Thompson.
I thought you were gonna say duck soup.
Also, a good one.
But
The
yeah,
Empire Strikes Quack.
That was good.
Okay, so look, I think a lot of this episode is going to be kind of taking a big old shit on this movie, but I want to, like, if we can parse out positives from this.
The Howard the
I
Duck
think-
head is pretty impressive.
Until we get to the part where they're like doing the science as to how he got here, I was like, this movie's actually kind of enjoyable. Like, it felt almost like something that, like, Taika Waititi, because, like, we're getting away with, like, all these weird comedy edgy movies. We'll be giving up a quick review on the Suicide Squad fairly soon.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Spoiler.
Take a look out for that.
But at the same time, it's that kind of humor. It's like in the post James Gunn Taika Waititi superhero world, Howard the Duck, you would think, has the sense of humor to fit right in. I mean, you know, now that it's Disney, you can't really have the condoms and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, it feels like a little ahead of its time, or like, you know, something like one of those kids movies where it's like, oh, it's actually a funny adult comedy that you never noticed the adult jokes for as a kid.
And I think there was kind of an expectation of it, like after the post-credit scene of Guardians of the Galaxy 1, and which James Gunn like went out of his way to kind of like hype up and like act like it was gonna like lead to like the next whatever of Marvel Studios.
Howard
movies.
the Duck is the Phase 4 main villain.
Right.
No, Howard the Duck is like, you know, Howard the Duck to Marvel is like Bosco to the Looney Tunes. It's like,
but I mean,
alright.
you bring Howard the Duck in for a cameo. The design looks actually like kind of thought out. You have Seth Green voicing him. This does seem like a setup for a movie, and what we get is like one more or two more cameos in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and then allegedly in Endgame. I haven't seen it personally. I mean, I've seen Endgame, but I haven't seen his cameo. Apparently, he's in that like big battle scene at the end.
I'm sure he'll show up in the holiday
Yeah.
And he's
special.
showing up in What If.
Yeah.
But I mean, that appearance in Guardians of the Galaxy like led to a kind of resurgence of him in Marvel Comics. Like we like
He deserves a good movie.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's not like a hopeless thing, and I think setting him within a larger universe of superheroes is probably a way to open it up a little bit comedically. But this version of it that is detached from the Marvel universe, we had a good time kind of theorizing as to what the Marvel universe this would be back in the 80s. But there's nothing fun about it. The villain is a man who I don't know by name. He was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
the
And
pedophile.
Beetlejuice, yeah, Jeffrey Jones.
Jeffrey Jones. He is a pedophile.
That's the only, we don't even know his name. You just know he's a pedophile.
Yeah, I don't think he really deserves one at a certain point. Bad person. But, and he's just like, I still don't get what his deal was. He becomes possessed, I think.
He's
Well, he's
essentially
not even
a
the bad
scientist
guy.
helping.
Is he not?
So he's a scientist helping Howard to get back home. He opens up the portal again accidentally to send Howard home the first time, and instead gets possessed by a demon from another world who wants to conquer Earth and bring all the other demons to Earth.
And he looks
so
like Henry
Howard's got to
Rollins.
stop him.
He was like Henry Rollins in the Liar video. He's like all red. All he needs are little horns.
And Lewis, if you thought that like I can't look at this monstrosity for 90 minutes of Howard the Duck, look at this disgusting man. Not even just the way he is normally, but the stuff that they do. Like he gets like hentai tentacles that come out of his mouth, and like he like starts.
It's very much like a prototype of Vincent D'Onofrio in Men in Black.
I can't believe we got all the way to this part when you glossed over the fact that she tried to fuck the duck.
Yeah, so when she
Yeah.
brings Howard to like her like shitty studio apartment, where like in movies like this in the 80s where they're like trying to be like, oh, you're living in the dumps, and you're looking at like, this is like a $5,000 studio apartment. This would be like, you would be killing it if you were living in New York today.
Yeah.
And then like, so then she like sets him up in a little bed, and then when he's asleep, she looks through his wallet and sees like pictures of like him and his like duck family, and then like she pulls out
Goes to his
a
duck
duck
wallet,
condom.
pulls out duck photos of his duck family.
she pulls out his duck credit cards of like
duck
mallard
credit card.
mallard duck and mallard card and like blooming duck, and then she pulls out she also has pulls out some dollar bills that have like a duck Washington on them, like sure, whatever, and then pulls out And this is the second point in the movie where if you're a parent, you should take your kids out of the movie. She pulls out a loose duck condom out of his wallet.
When we say loose, that shit is not even wrapped.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
out of
the way Mike had always described it, I'd always thought it was wrapped. This thing's like used and slimy.
and it's like
Shoot it up
but
and
it's still like rolled up, so it doesn't seem like it's been used yet. But it's like, why you can't just keep like a loosey condom in your wallet like that? Like it's the lubricant.
Is that how you think he got it? He like walked down to the duck bodega and was like, "Yo, give me a Lucy," and he just hands him an unwrapped condom.
Go to the corner store right now and ask for a Lucy. See what they give you.
And then her reaction when she sees it, she's just like, "Oh, Howard." It's like,
Yeah, who he just met. by the way.
Sex
okay,
is a
I just
natural
gotta say,
thing, but it's still gross to keep it.
Fucking,
empty.
what is Leah Thompson's deal? This movie, Back to the Future, this chick's whole deal, her character arc is wanting to fuck things that she can't. In this movie, she wants to fuck a duck. You can't fuck a duck. In Back to the Future, she wants to fuck her son. You can't fuck your son.
at least
That's her whole deal.
If there's one thing you take away from this episode of Random Movie Roulette, let it be, you can't fuck your son.
To this day,
Or
Leah
ducks.
Thompson is a virgin.
because she wants to fuck all these things, but she cannot.
If Chris Chan could go to jail, so
Okay,
could
no,
you.
No, we can't.
No,
we can't.
we're not
Yeah.
doing
No
that.
talk
We're
about-
not. No.
No talk of Chris Chan.
Nope.
Anyway, so
Guys, let's check in with our
yeah, what is everybody saying?
attendees here. Let's see. Fabulous says the craziness of the movie had me invested in the first 20 to 30 minutes. Then whatever's left of it is used for witty banter with friends that makes the movie only slightly more tolerable. Yeah, I mean the only way I didn't like blow my fucking brains out in the third act was because like we were just bullshitting the whole time.
Yeah,
watch the
I'll be honest.
Brazilian
The big
Digimon
problem with
opening
Howard the
instead.
Duck for me is that it gets boring.
It gets real fucking boring.
Yeah, because we were saying, like, the first, like, 15... Like, it's stupid and silly and weird in the first, like, 15, 20 minutes, and I can't imagine this being shown to, like, a major audience. But, like, there's, like, ridiculous stuff, like, he has to go get a job, and he gets a job as, like, a cum cleaner at some, like, strip club. And it's, like...
That's fine, too. It's just once the movie gets a villain, and it's not a good villain, it's like...
Dude, I
Yeah.
said this movie was too big to fail. It's a movie about a talking alien duck that smokes cigars and reads Playboy and knows, was it Cluck Fu or something?
Quack Fu.
Quack Fu? Like,
Which didn't you say,
How
Jack?
could
That's
this-
It's
comic
comic
accurate.
accurate that
How
Howard
can
knows
they-
Quack Fu.
how can they make this boring? Like,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. Probably by making it in almost 2 hours long.
Yeah, it's George Lucas getting too big for his britches. He's like, I made Star Wars. I can make Howard the Duck. It's like,
He didn't make it, though.
Well, he got
You
money
didn't
from
make
it. Well, he didn't get money from it.
you think
but-
he had any sort of creative input on, like, what happens in this movie?
He must
He's
have.
executive producer. He had to watch it.
I mean, also Lucas has some kinky shit. He wanted Luke and Leia to fucking bone. He's into that.
he was Mr. There's no underwear in space.
We also have Mark pointing out that Howard the Duck is clearly the messiah of evil. Not a bad evaluation of the film at all. Cody coming in clutch with a great question. Which is worse, this or Book of Henry?
Oh man,
Never seen Book of Henry.
Book of Henry is worse.
I
Yeah,
think
this
Book
is-
of Henry's less boring than this.
Yeah,
I gotta
No, I
say.
think this is way more boring. No, Book of Henry is way more boring. I'm sorry. This at least visually keeps you interesting. Book of Henry, I was just like,
I think morally, I think Book of Henry is
Morally?
morally. I think Book of Henry.
These are movies. They're not real.
yeah,
morals.
listen, you haven't
They're
seen. Yeah,
emotions.
you haven't seen Book
I
of
will
Henry.
say I approve of the duck condom more than I approve of Sarah Silverman kissing.
11-year-old boys on the mouth. Yeah, more. That's why
God,
I say.
I wish that
yeah,
were
that's why
me.
I say morally, Book of Henry is more repulsive. But this movie is also just like. As far as I don't know if this is as long as Book of Henry. I feel like they might be the same length.
Fun fact, this is from the creator of Star Wars, and the director of Book of Henry was fired from Star Wars for that.
David Lynch.
Oh,
Colin Trevorrow.
Colin Trevorrow. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he sure
didn't
was.
Didn't he get Jurassic World back? Like he's
And
doing
you know
the
what's
third
worse?
Jurassic World.
Yeah.
His Star Wars movie sounds way better than the one we actually got.
I mean, yeah, but
They
we're not here to talk
fucked
about
up.
Rise of Skywalker. And
I
its
will defend
shortcomings.
Colin Trevorrow. He made one bad movie, one really bad movie, and got just.
I mean,
dumped
Jurassic
on
World
for it.
1 is also not a good movie.
It's terrible.
But it's
How
at
many
least,
bad movies
like-
are we gonna let M. Night Shyamalan make before we start firing
M. Night
him from
Shyamalan,
shit?
Ding Dong.
Yeah, but we never gave M. Night Shyamalan a Star Wars movie. So
That's
nominated
true.
for
We
Oscars.
gave
He
him
gets
The
some
Last
Oscars.
Airbender.
Yeah, which arguably a bigger sin is ruining The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
Way more solid of a franchise.
But also, I just want to put in, because I don't know where I'm going to say it until the very end. Thomas Dolby did the music for this movie, and I checked the credits. He did most of the music for this movie.
Is this
Thomas
of
Dolby? The guy who
Dolby?
did
I
the-
was going to say, because John Barry is the James Bond composer, and he's listed as composer here. Nothing here sounded like John Barry, though.
Yeah, because Thomas Dolby did the production.
Yeah, it's a good thing that you brought that up, because last night in our Discord chat, if you're on our Patreon for $1, you could be in our Discord chat and talk about movies. Our collaborator Jordan from Gory Picture Show and Verica. No, he's not on Gory Picture Show.
No,
Just
Vericon.
Vericon.
He has been
Video.
on an
He
episode
was on
of
a
Gory
video.
Picture Show.
Yes. He mentioned that we better talk about how Thomas Dolby did the music for this, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, don't worry, because if there's one thing that you got to talk about with Howard the Duck, it's the fucking banging theme song.
It's
I gotta say, dis-a-fucking-agree with that. That is the banging theme song. I fucking hate the theme song. I think it sounds terrible.
Lewis, can you play it in the background?
I can't.
Maybe we can go out with it later.
Can't.
Physically, we have to get the clips before the episode. So
Yeah, and also Twitch has been very aggressive about DMCA stuff.
You get taken down. Thomas Dolby takes you down.
Wouldn't that be the most embarrassing thing that
The
could
guy who
possibly
wrote
happen?
Cars takes you down in the year 2021. In Cars.
Mark also asks if this ending, and I need your help on this because I can't speak to it, is the ending to this film not also the ending to the first Wonder Woman film? And to answer
Wonder
that,
Woman has
I
a
need...
poopy monster in it.
well, I said that, and I apologize to David Thewlis for saying this, but I say like the pedophile man looks a little bit like David Thewlis with the mustache and like the parted hair, and he was the villain at the end of Wonder Woman who turns into a giant monster gloppity gloop, and then we just like throw CGI at him. And
I really do not appreciate you comparing Thewlis to a pedophile.
No, David Thewlis is a pure man, and he's been in he's been a very respected British thespian for many decades.
A thespian.
Yes.
God damn it! Show some goddamn respect.
But he looks a little bit like Rooney from Ferris Bueller, and you gotta reckon with it a little bit.
He was, I would say, he was Harry Potter's Harry Potter's Rooney, but he
tries
wasn't.
to help him.
Snape was his Rooney.
Mark also points out Cars is Gary Newman, not Thomas Dolby.
Oh yeah, Thomas Dolby did science. Yeah, he did the science song.
This is all fucking gibberish to me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not
Thomas
a music
Dolby
guy.
created Dolby surround sound.
That's what I've been wondering this whole time. Is he not the same Dolby? We went to his screening room to see
No, I think it's different Dolbys.
Never Something Sometimes Always.
Dolby is my favorite house elf from Harry Potter.
Dolby's a free elf.
Dolby is a free musician.
Thomas Dolby.
Mark also said that Jordan would have killed us if we didn't correct that. So
Yeah, no, that was my bad.
See-
I got my 80s white men mixed up. I'm sorry.
But
see
see,
what happens
Jordan,
when we have
I know
guests.
John Barry's sounds too. I know all the horns and James
How much would you have
Bondy.
loved if this was just like a James Bond movie, but with Howard the Duck, like he's a secret agent?
that's
and
a better pitch for a.
That's
Howard
a
the Duck
really
movie.
good Howard the Duck pitch.
Yeah.
I would see the fuck out of that.
Yeah, I think that's what this movie needed to be. Well, first
You
off,
have
it
a
needed,
cat petting a human.
Yeah,
I
first
mean, the Howard the Duck theme is as good as any Bond theme, so, I mean, there you go.
I mean, I don't like either. So yeah, sure. Why not?
It's also, I feel like that's what it's like. Not only that, like, oh, that's what it needed. It needed like some sort of plot. That it needed like a story. Like I think that's what it needed because it's like
And it didn't have one.
because there's a lot of this movie is just like him wandering around the city like sad and depressed because he's discriminated against as a duck. But like that never comes to anything. Like there's a part
Duck
where
lives matter.
there's a part where he's like on the bus and people are like get out of here, duck. Like you're a duck. Nobody respects you or some shit like that.
You'll never amount to nothing, Duck.
And then
You're
he-
just like your father.
And then he like goes into like he's looking at some like TVs in like a window shop and he's looking at how ducks are portrayed in the media and like they're being hunted for sport, and then like Daffy Duck, who's like a ridiculous cartoon character who gets beat up, and you can tell that like he's mad about that, and you think like is he gonna try to like change the image of ducks in the human world?
That's
Like,
B-movie.
I know, like is he gonna sue the human race for its portrayal of ducks? But no, it never happens ever again. We get just follow Tim Robbins as like this wacky scientist who is trying to prove that ducks were like the first evolution or something.
Frame is in this.
No, he's explaining how Howard is different from humans. I was reading.
Yeah,
the-
okay.
the
And
subtitles.
granted, I want, if there's like a hardcore Howard the Duck fan out there who's listening to this and is probably enraged at this point.
Like Howard the Duck of the movie. Like
yes. Yeah, Howard the Duck the movie.
if
fan.
Justin LaLiberty is listening to this episode,
Oh my god, he would totally show this during like Dismember the
Also-
Alamo or some shit.
Howard the Duck's favorite James Pond movie is Goldfeather.
Again, that is, I think, a series of video games.
Yes, there are James Pond games.
Yeah,
I think they were for like the ZX Spectrum.
There was a GBA release of one of them. I don't
James
know.
Pond had a GBA release.
I'm fairly certain.
Is it about a duck that's like James
No,
Pond?
It's about
it's
like a
it's
tadpole?
fish. It's like a fish, I think.
Maybe a fish.
Yeah,
Sure.
James Pond.
fish.
Anyway, Cody has a great question, and he seems concerned about it. Is this movie on Disney Plus?
I thought it was.
No, this movie is on Peacock streaming for free with ads, and also if you have a subscription.
But Disney Plus has weird things. Like, all the Pirates of the Caribbeans except the fourth one are on Disney Plus.
And
Like,
it's probably like licensing deals with other streaming
Yeah.
You got the
services.
best
Yeah.
one, so that's
Yeah.
all that matters.
Yeah, okay,
by
but
the
he
best one, do you mean Dead Men Tell No Tales?
No.
Dead Men Tell No Tales is the best one.
That's the fifth one. That's the bad
Oh
one.
no, what's
Dead
the
Man's
second
Chest
one?
is-
Dead Man's
yeah,
Chest.
Dead Man's Chest is the
Wow,
first
they
one.
named
At
two
World's
movies
End.
with
You
Dead
remember
Men?
that video I sent you of like POV, you're at a bachelorette party and this one girl won't stop talking about Pirates of the Caribbean to Dead Man's
It
Chest.
changed CGI forever.
So it's called Dead Man's Chest because he's dead and his heart is in a chest.
but also
it
it came
revolutionized
out of
cinema.
his chest.
Anyway, he has a great follow-up question, Cody. He says, if so let's pretend right now that this movie was on
I will
Disney
also
Plus.
say all first three Pirates are equally
Yeah.
great.
No, the last
the-
one is bad.
Okay, so it's on Disney Plus.
If it was on Disney Plus, would it be the horniest movie on Disney Plus?
Yes.
I mean,
Can we?
Disney's like sexless.
Yeah,
Like, this
I'm
is.
trying to think. I mean,
There's literally been complaints that Marvel movies should be hornier. Like, moderately even.
yeah, because I know that there's like this resurgence of people who are like superhero movies should be sexy, like Batman Returns. I'm like, okay, Batman Returns needs
Is
to go.
too
No, yeah,
sexy.
Batman Returns needs to go to horny jail. Like there needs to be a middle ground. Like
what about
But, like-
Deadpool? Because Deadpool has like full-blown like pegging scenes. Is that
Deadpool's
on
not
Disney Plus?
on Disney
wait,
Plus,
you could
though.
see Deadpool peg somebody?
No,
No,
Deadpool
Deadpool
gets
getting
pegged.
pegged. Yeah,
like
which better?
bare
by
ass
the way.
pegged.
Yeah,
Yeah, by his girlfriend.
yeah. Morena
Jesus.
Baccarin, and she's killing it. She looks like she's
am I
stroking
missing
real
out
good.
by not watching fucking
not really.
No. I'm sorry. The,
guys with underwear on the outside.
Actually,
Bam
I
Kapow
should say
movies?
Deadpool 2
Whoosh,
is
Bam
pretty
Kapow.
good.
Deadpool 2 is a fucking solid movie. I look,
Really?
say what you want about Deadpool 1.
know, it
I
seems
think
like Rick and
structurally
Morty.
it doesn't hold up, but Deadpool 2 is fucking solid.
Yeah, Deadpool 1's an origin movie, and we don't like
it's
those.
boring as shit. And also like got like the weirdest budget cut like right before they started shooting, and it really
But
shows.
Deadpool 2 fucking slaps.
Deadpool 2 is fucking great. Yeah, definitely
Deadpool
worth checking.
2
out.
is fucking great.
Yo, welcome to this podcast with four
I mean-
white guys. We think Deadpool 2 is real good.
I saw it 3 times.
You know, I was just running through my mind of like what else is on Disney Plus. I was like, well, there's Splash, but I was like, oh, they had to hide the fucking butt. And I'm like, we can't have a butt on Disney Plus.
Maybe The
Disney
Simpsons
butts.
is hornier?
The Simpsons, yeah.
Simpsons
But that's
movies
TV.
on there.
Are we talking
Wait,
TV or
the
movies?
The Simpsons movies on there. You can see Bart's little pee-pee.
Wait, do they edit that
No,
out? or
they don't.
anything?
I've
No,
seen
you
it.
see the pee-pee.
Thank God.
Because it's on screen
Otherwise,
for
it
like
would
2
be the whole
seconds.
joke.
It's on screen for like
Although-
2 seconds, and it literally looks like if you just took a pencil and went, "That's a pee-pee."
That'd almost be funnier, though, if Disney did edit that out and you saw, like, The Simpsons had no genitals.
It's also like a legit great gag in that movie.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
fucking
the-
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I also am boring and
was,
like dick
I was
jokes.
busting a gut when I saw.
Yeah, when I was
Yeah.
10 and
Yeah.
saw
Bart
that.
I was
Simpsons.
busting a nut. I mean, busting a gut when I saw that boy's penis.
Guys, when in the lead up to the Simpsons movie coming out, I don't remember this so much, but I apparently talked so much about the
Spider Pig.
No, the Quickie Mart. What's
How
the
Quickie Mart transformed 7-Elevens.
Right, yeah. I apparently talked about that so much that my parents were upset. I don't remember it.
What did
but
you
I
have
thought,
to?
I thought it
I
was
didn't
the
even like
coolest.
Pig donuts!
No.
Mom!
I think it was, one, the coolest marketing thing ever.
Yeah.
Two, I will also throw out that my
Cinemarketing.
quote-unquote hometown won the actual premiere with their Simpsons short film. So the Springfield that I lived in from age 0 to 3 is where the Simpsons premiered.
Oh yeah, they did a contest with like all the Springfields in America.
And
Make a
the
short film and
they
then
made in
we'll-
Vermont won.
It's pretty cool. All I know
You were
is that
born in the
I
land
thought
of
those
Bernie
7-Elevens
Sanders.
were dope. Although having, really thinking it through, really weird promotion, but like very cool. I mean, like
Slurpee now.
cartoons
I
coming
can
to life.
imagine that there might have been a lot of unwanted racism towards people who are like, oh, hey, Apu, say thank you, come again.
yeah.
I
mean-
will. Yeah, I think that sucks. I will also just correct Anthony. I was born across the state line in New Hampshire, and then grew up in Vermont.
Poser.
But anyway, speaking of cartoons come to life, do you want to talk a little bit just about this suit puppet thing?
The head's impressive.
I mean, yeah, it's on par with the Ninja Turtles from
I think
90.
I think it looks legitimately better than the Ninja Turtles
And it
live
was
action
before the
suits.
Ninja Turtles. I'm
Yeah.
wondering.
Well, Ninja Turtles also had a much smaller budget.
But you also
than
gotta remember
this.
the Ninja Turtles were made by Jim fucking Henson.
Well, this
I don't
is
think
made by
Henson-
George fucking Lucas,
Yeah.
I mean,
He actually made
who
it
worked with
himself.
Jim Henson to make Yoda and every other fucking
Oh
thing
yeah,
in
we're
Star
playing
Wars.
6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Keep going.
Yeah. Let's keep
Kevin
going. Let's keep
Bacon.
going. Frank Oz, who voiced Miss Piggy, voiced Yoda. Frank Oz also appeared in fucking
He's a
Knives
nice
Out, which was directed by Rian Johnson, who made The Last Jedi, starring Laura Dern, who won her Oscar for Marriage Story with fellow Last Jedi actor Adam Driver.
This is gonna be the rest of the episode. Keep
Who
going.
will be
Bacon.
starring in House of Gucci with Lady Gaga, who is better than Kevin Bacon.
I think we're way past 6
Yeah, I
degrees.
wasn't actually going for Kevin Bacon. I was just going to keep listing stuff until Lewis told me to stop.
I love
I
it.
would've
I
never
love
told you to
6
stop.
Degrees of Kevin Bacon because I could name like 2 Kevin Bacon movies. It makes it really hard.
I can name 2, and one of them is X-Men First Class.
Yeah, what's the other one?
Footloose.
Yeah, exactly. That's
The, see, my thing is, I'm trying to think
better
of
80s movie.
who could I 10 degrees Kevin Bacon with here.
6
Kevin
Degrees.
Bacon must have been in a movie with Tim Robbins at some point.
God, how desperate are we for content right now and getting through this episode that we're fucking talking about 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon? I
There was
mean,
a website that did it for you.
there was a Bacon number. It was the website. Okay, we should move back to Howard the Duck.
So
here
yeah, so
a
I guess
little
the
bit.
other thing about the the animatronics and whatever, it's like you said the head specifically is impressive. So is the rest of the body not?
Well, the rest of the body is the most impressive thing ever because it's the human body, Michael. It's a little person in a suit.
If someone, I did just realize the connection between Howard the Duck and Kevin Bacon.
What is it?
If you want me to do
Yeah,
it.
do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Howard the Duck knows
Jesus
Jeffrey Jones, who is in Ferris Bueller's Day Off with what's his fucking name? Killed the
Broderick.
woman, Matthew Broderick, who is
Ferris
in
Bueller.
She's Having a Baby with Kevin
women.
Bacon as Ferris Bueller in a post-credit scene. So there we go, like 4.
All right. Well,
Nice. And by the way, it was 2 women. He killed 2 women. Vehicular manslaughter in Ireland.
And I'm sure there's probably a closer connection, but that's what I got right now.
I didn't mean to laugh so genuinely at he killed 2 women. It's pretty terrible.
it's the
but like,
fact that you're gatekeeping how many women.
gatekeeping. I'm mansplaining.
this
Get
is
it
a
right.
total
Michael.
girl boss move, Anthony.
Mansplain, manipulate, male wife, baby.
I have a question about like just like I'm wondering if you Cinemarketing guys maybe know
Ew,
something.
that is a disgusting poster. I can
So-
only see it out of the corner of my eye, but I hate it.
I'm not about to reference that one. What I wanted to talk about was this one.
Well, wait,
Where
in
Howard looks
particular.
like he's going to be a cartoon.
Oh, the one where he's cracking through the egg?
Right. I'm
That's cute.
and this
like
I
it.
wonder if this may have been after the fact created, but this one I'm pretty sure was like an actual like around
Yeah.
the time.
That's like the teaser poster.
Right. Do you guys know if there were like any expectations that this was going to be an animated movie? And do you think this movie would have been
No, I
this
feel like
couldn't
from
have-
the beginning it was marketed as a live action movie.
okay? But do you think this would have been better as like a Roger Rabbit style 2D
100%.
live action?
If they had the budget for it,
One
100%.
thing I do wonder though, did this come out like right when Roger Rabbit did, and that's why Lucas decided to go live action?
This came out a good number of years before Roger Rabbit. Roger Rabbit was 88. This was 86. So
Well, not a good number 2. Yeah, I thought it was 87, so I was like, okay, Roger Rabbit would have been in production at some point. But whatever, yes.
Oh, yes, and also, I think this was mentioned by Mark in our Discord, is that because I think it was he said that I have this movie to thank for the creation of Pixar because apparently George Lucas, when this movie bombed, was forced to start selling off assets to stay afloat. So his friend Steve Jobs offered to help buy Lucasfilm's newly launched CG animation division, which then eventually became Pixar.
Wow,
So-
what a king.
Okay. I guess. I mean, with lately, I don't. Although I guess I like Luca. So you know what? I'm gonna take
You
back
like
what I didn't
Luca?
even say. I like Luca.
You mean
a
the
lot.
least
That's-
Italian movie of all time? That movie pissed me off, dude.
Don't you like?
I think it was just the right amount of Italian. I think
It
that's
was
as,
not.
I think that's as much
There
of
was
Italian.
one. Listen. They were up and on
Silencio,
sta-
Bruno.
Literally. I'm going off on a tangent here, but literally years ago, when fucking
Ratatouille?
Not Ratatouille. What's the one with Day of the Dead? When Coco came out,
Coco.
they had to back up their ship. Be like, dude, okay. We have a lot of Mexican writers on our team. We do whatever. Here, there is one Italian person on the whole team for Luca.
Yeah, I mean, Italians aren't a minority. I don't care as
understand
much
that, but
about
if
their
you're making-
representation.
No. But you're making a movie about a culture. You know what I mean?
I
That's
don't
why
think
it just seemed off to me.
There was pesto. I think we got the point.
Like, listen, we're not starving for Italian representation.
Yeah.
We have
here.
The Sopranos.
We have everybody.
Everybody
Loves Raymond.
I knew you were gonna bring up Raymond. I knew it. But not animated movies. How many mamuches are there about Italians?
What do you
Bicycle
guys
Thieves.
think Duck
That's not an
Italy
animated
is?
movie.
Yeah, then we got into this argument, the Monster Kid discourse, where it was like every Italian movie is giallo. Bicycle Thieves is giallo.
Goodfellas
Cinema
is giallo.
Paradiso is
I
giallo.
love Cinema Paradiso.
Yo,
Wouldn't
if
Cinema
fucking
Paradiso
Call Me
be
by
better
Your
if-
Name had turned into Giallo, I would have liked it so much better.
Better movie. That's a better movie.
I mean,
you
with
just
Army
described.
Hammer, it was like almost weird.
You were
Start from artist.
running
Start
close.
from artist. I still really like Call Me by. I wouldn't say love. I still really like Call Me by Your Name.
You don't love it anymore because you had to back down after.
No, I don't
after-
love it because I haven't seen it enough to
No,
say
well.
I love it.
If you
Did
like
you
Call Me
just
by Your
call
Name,
Army Hammer a starving artist?
Like what? Put
You
words in my
sounded
mouth.
like you were saying something. And I was
You're
like,
just- you're
it's
just
funny
putting
to
words in
call
my
him
mouth.
a starving artist because he can't eat people anymore.
anymore. You know what's the scariest thing about that is that he was definitely rich enough to eat people. I feel like when you reach a certain amount of wealth, you can eat people and nothing will fall
I
back
mean,
on
reach
you.
really,
a certain
we
amount
should
of
be
wealth. He
eating
was
the rich.
born into that certain amount of wealth.
I mean,
Yeah,
that was,
Like, yeah.
that was the
For
entire.
those of you who don't know, his family's rich and bought Arm and Hammer because it sounded like his name.
Yes.
You think they named him after it, and then they bought it
As an
afterwards?
excuse to monopolize baking soda.
Yeah, I mean, and also like the eating. That's the point of like his character in Sorry to Bother You, where he is very more in many ways more accurate to his real life counterpart than we would have.
I
thought.
forgot
His
he was in that
character in
movie.
Death on the Nile was going to kill his wife.
Yeah, that's also
That
funny.
movie's not coming out.
How long until we see an Italian movie starring Army Hammer now that he's been Kevin Spacey'd?
We'll
Kevin
see.
Spacey is going to
We're
be
gonna
an
see a
Italian
movie
movie.
with Kevin Spacey and Armand Hammer. Armand's Hammer. Gonna be the baking soda is gonna star in it.
Oh God. Is he done, by the way? Like, do we know? Like I feel like all of his shit's
I
been
would
canceled, right?
assume, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck never ate a person. And
That would have made it more
I
interesting.
mean, he tried
Yeah.
to eat that the unemployment lady's ass.
He also
Okay,
tried to
yeah.
eat
Let's talk about this moment for a minute. He goes to the unemployment
with
office.
drip. He's got fucking drip in this scene.
He's absolutely killing the game with his wardrobe right now. And he's at the unemployment office. For some reason, this duck needs to get a job. I guess Leah Thompson, again, we were talking through the whole movie. I'm guessing Leah Thompson demanded if he's going to stay in her house.
Do you
He
think
needs-
that's what happened?
I don't fucking know.
They had a fight and he needed to get money.
Okay, sure. Great. So anyway,
No, I'm not saying that like it's like, oh my god, you missed this plot point of The Godfather. What? It's like, No, but yes.
So he goes to the
How
unemployment
duck
office.
insists upon itself.
And by the way, like, this is the point in the movie where, like, people stop.
You know that scene in the diner? That's where I stop.
They're all sitting in the chairs. It's like, I don't know.
This is the point in the movie where people kind of, like, stop freaking out that he's a duck. Like all the other people who are introduced at this point who see Howard the Duck.
Well, nobody believes he's a duck.
Like, oh my God, did you see the duck man? Yeah, dude, he's been here for like 4 days. We know. He's
It's
a duck.
Cleveland. This is a small town.
He's a
He
duck.
was on
We're-
Cleveland Public Access.
We're fine.
We're good.
He's here now. He's the duck man.
I said it's like in B movie how they very easily accept that bees could just talk.
That's true, too.
and want to fuck you.
There's a lot of parallels between this and my last pick.
Thinking duck. Thinking duck.
Yeah, thinking
Yeah.
duck in this movie will get you fucking like it'll get you like AIDS, and you'll also like have to end up getting.
Which,
I thought you'd just get space rabies.
Yeah.
by the way, Mike is officially banned from suggesting movies for this podcast that have an animal in the name. We're done with that. B movie, Howard the Duck.
You could still do Open Season and Over the Hedge.
I honestly think that that's not as bad as what these
Furry
last.
Vengeance.
If you
Furry
forced us
Vengeance.
to watch Kangaroo Jack or something.
No Kangaroo Jack, no more of that.
But anyway,
night.
he's at the unemployment office. There's a woman there helping him. She's like a middle-aged woman. She's
She's thick.
THICC. She turns away from him at some point and bends over, and he sees her butt, and he seems to be like in some sort of trance, and he goes like.
No.
It seems to be like instinctually.
I think
Yeah, I
he's
think that's what ducks do. Don't they like bite each other's tail feathers?
do they?
Don't ducks bite your ass? You have a little breadcrumbs in your
I thought
back
he was
pocket?
mad at her
We're gonna
because
say
she.
breadcrumbs in your asshole.
I
Mike.
thought he was mad at her because she was insulting him, and he was just gonna bite her to like hurt her.
I thought he just wanted to eat her ass. I'm not.
Either-
Gonna
I
lie.
meing,
Either way, it's like.
Eat
Just,
your
I'm gonna
Bucci.
bite this woman's ass out of revenge. It doesn't seem like a great alibi.
So I bit her ass out of revenge.
And so does that mean okay? So if it is a duck thing, does that mean on his planet everyone's just going around eating each other's asses like as like a hello?
Yes.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
accepted.
So then he
Great.
gets the
oh
job.
hello.
Yeah, we were making jokes about like what would Howard the Duck look like if it was voiced by John Mulaney, and I'm like, it would be way better. He'd be like, I am a duck. I come from a duck planet where everyone is a duck, and we do duck things all the time.
Here's a mallard. It fits in your pocket.
I
Also-
go to the duck fridge, pull out a duck beer, read a duck Playboy.
And jerk my duck dick off until I
My
duck cum
duck-
everywhere.
By the way, did you know duck penises are corkscrews? It's
Sure
crazy.
did. It's real
One feels like a duck splashing around in all this sweat, and when one feels like a duck, one is happy.
gross. We sure have seen a lot of John Mulaney.
Too old to be a duck.
We've
Like,
seen
quack, quack.
too much John Mulaney. Make him go away again.
No.
We should have opened with a "Too Old to Be a Duckling" quack quack video.
Well, we didn't. We went with your suggested Michael.
Yeah.
Your other suggestion.
But anyways, I usually can remember the plot of a movie enough to say anyways and move on to the next thing.
Yeah, that is
I
Jack's.
think we've really gone through everything here.
There's three separate sections I break this movie
yeah.
up into, and it's
I-
not
good
Rooney gets possessed and they go to a diner for 50 years.
Yes.
There's the diner. There is the opening duck sequence, and then there is the Howard the Duck flying a fucking plane for
the
some reason.
everlasting gyrocopter plane chase, whatever, that's not fun or funny at all. All the while, poor Leah Thompson is tied up, and
So what? They want to
fucking-
send her back to the duck world? I think it was.
No, I
I
think
was like,
he
were
just
they-
wants Leah Thompson.
I was like, were they
'Cause I
holding her
think-
there to like as a hostage for?
Oh
Howard
no,
to come?
because when they're in the truck, he says something about putting babies in her.
Oh boy. You don't want
This movie is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
We're literally trying to just parse out actual dog
So then at
shit.
the end,
Duck shit.
the big cumulon monster that gets transported is a
Mike,
big poopy
Mike,
rancor.
show some respect. Yeah, it's a poopy monster. Let's.
It's a poopy monster. That's literally what it is. With two lobster claws. So that you took like a log of shit.
It's
and took
like
two
the
lobster claws from
suckling,
the kitchen
but
and just-
like it's the duckling.
Too old to be a duckling. Quack quack. Anyway, yeah, no, we were making jokes like this does look like the suckling monster, like the way that like its teeth look.
It's got tentacles coming out of it that look like the little tendrils that the suckling, or I guess umbilical cord, that the suckling would try and kill people with a lot of suckling parallels near the end there. And like,
And in the beginning, because Howard, where he has his brief temp job, it's probably also a cross brothel abortion clinic.
maybe. His anyway, we forgot to mention that the temp job he does get is he's like the cum catcher for like some weird.
I think we've brought up the cum
I
cleaning
think
job.
we've,
But I don't think we've
brought up
ever
that
explained it.
He works in a sex spa and quits.
Yeah, which
And his boss
also-
looks like Danny DeVito as Frank Reynolds.
And his boss gets catapulted into like a pool of poop.
Into a mud pie.
It's a mud bath, and it does look like poopy,
no,
as mud baths.
But also,
do.
I think this is the third point in the movie where if you're a parent, it's your responsibility to take your kids out of the theater, because not only does he have a job as like a cum cleaner at the sex spa, but there's a part where like a topless woman and like some guy are like passionately making out as they go into their room.
And Howard's just stranded in there with him.
Yeah.
And then how do we move past the ultimate point where it's like, and this is the point where the movie stops being good after this, is when Leah Thompson and Howard the Duck are laying in bed together. She starts feeling him up in his chest, and then his duck feathers on his head stand up, and he's like super aroused, and they're about to fuck. This human woman is about to fuck a duck.
Yeah, dude, there's a non-zero chance there are kids in the 80s who rented this movie to touch themselves to it. There's a non-zero chance of that happening.
That's
Wow.
probably true.
Back to Leah Thompson being tied up. In an
No,
unrelated-
no.
No, because I was going to say, in the end, Howard and Tim Robbins have to fly to save Leah Thompson. Longest chase ever. They fight the monster, beat the monster, save the world. Big musical number at the end. Everybody's happy.
the
Howard
Duck
manages
now-
a
yeah,
band.
He manages Leah Thompson.
He manages her Hex Girls
Streets of Fire band.
fucking gem knockoff band.
All right. Anyway, that's the
sing
end of
Howard
Howard
the
the
Duck.
Did you ever see the Gem and the Holograms movie that came
No,
out?
and I don't want to.
Directed by the director of In the Heights.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, we need
And
to watch
G.I.
that.
Joe Retaliation.
Yeah. So also, this movie got a couple of award nominations. It was nominated for 7 Raspberry Awards, which are the Razzies. It was nominated for Worst Director for William Yuck. For Worst Original Song for Howard the Duck.
I
Those
agree.
fuckers are fucking
Nope.
losers.
It's a
And
bad song.
Worst Supporting Actor for Tim Robbins. The picture won 4 Razzies for Worst New Star, and they denigrated the 6 guys and gals in the duck suit. That's their... Listen, they're just trying to do their job. Like, don't make fun of
Don't
the
make
people who
fun
had to
of
be the fucking...
The
puppeteers.
poor little people who are trying to make their living.
Worst visual effects, worst screenplay, and worst motion picture, tied with Under the Cherry Moon.
See,
Under
I mean,
the Cherry Moon is pretty fucking miserable too.
but this is like this is like the Godfather of bad movies, or the Casablanca at least. Like it's Howard the Duck.
I figured Plan 9 is the Casablanca of bad movies.
There's like The
Oh,
Room,
yeah.
Plan
Yeah.
9, and Howard the Duck. Those are like and Showgirls, I guess.
Sure.
But
Showgirls,
I
you
like
mean the one with
Showgirls
the-
a lot.
The poster
Guys-
of the head on the one leg bouncing around.
Guys, we gotta wrap up here.
Thank God.
And yeah, I
So
think
did we
I
actually
think
talk about the movie at all?
I
Yes,
think maybe
we did.
15 minutes
Enough.
of this was probably talking about the
People
movie.
have been talking about this movie for almost 40 years now. It's time to stop.
So this is normally the part of the show where I would announce what we are watching next week. It is my pick. However, in trying to secure a guest for the next episode, I haven't quite nailed down what the movie is. I'm going to kind of try and tailor it to who is going to be coming on. So if you want to know what our next movie is going to be for the month of September, please follow us on Twitter at RMRoulette. We will be announcing it there.
Do you know who your guest is going to be?
Nope,
we'll
not
keep
yet.
that a
Nope.
secret too.
What did you
Oh,
just
okay.
say?
That's why we don't know yet.
But I gotta say, you're really keeping me in suspense now. Like,
It may not, depending on the guest, it may not be mean.
He's going to get Roger Corman.
But we will be back in September with another episode of Random Movie Roulette. We're going to have another bonus episode relatively soon for patrons, and patrons will also get, by the way, get the better end of the deal as far as this Howard the Duck nonsense goes, because I think our commentary
Is better than this.
way better than what we just
There's
did.
a lot of 9/11 jokes.
Well,
Yeah, no, it's fair.
we can
There's a
leave
lot of
the
9/11 jokes.
surprises for them.
But it's way more entertaining than this. So patreon.com/rmroulette. For the $1 tier, you can get added to our Discord. You can chat with us. We have a lot of really fun, stupid conversations over there and have a great time. $5 and up gets you access to bonus content. We have commentaries for all of the movies that we cover on the main episodes, as well as occasional other bonus episodes where we review kind of the newer release movies. If you're watching this live right now, tomorrow there will be a review of The Suicide Squad up. Jack has seen it. After this, we're going to record that review, so be sure to check that out. If you go to youtube.com and look up Random Movie Roulette, you will find us. We do not have enough subscribers to have our own URL just yet, so also, if you're not yet, please subscribe. Helps us out a lot, but it will also be on podcast feeds and all that good stuff. As far as Cinemarketing, guys, where can everyone find you?
You can find us on Twitter at CinemarketPod and on Instagram at CinemarketingPod. I had to put the ing on the Instagram because there wasn't enough characters for the Twitter handle. Anyway.
How many characters do you need for a Twitter handle now?
I mean, I don't know, but it wasn't
there's
enough.
literally @beans that exists.
Yeah, but I think that the ing ended up exceeding the amount of character limitations. Anyway, so the on the Instagram, I post little hints as to what the next movie are going to be. Although by the time we end up getting to that movie, it's very public knowledge of like what the movie's going to be. Like it's very
we announce at the end of the episode what our next movie's going to be.
Yeah. So do you guys want to just say what it is?
Yeah. So our next episode, whenever we get to it, is going to be for Space Jam 1996. After having seen Space Jam: A New Legacy, I think we need to look back at how the original was just a giant marketing ploy, as is this new movie. Anyone saying like, "Oh, this new Space Jam is soulless,"
doesn't have the magic of the original.
Yeah,
the original's crap.
The original is a soulless, cynical corporate product as well. So we're gonna look at that.
But I do just want to say, and I'm not on this episode, and I won't be able to put my 2 cents in. It's so much worse than A New Legacy. But continue. I'm sorry.
Yes.
What?
It's so much.
No, the new one is worse. He was saying.
Yes.
But yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so I post on there, and I also post theater displays that I see, like the cardboard displays in movie theaters. Those are fun. So yes, follow us on there. I'm at Armor Cyborg Mike on Twitter and Instagram, and so you can find us for the podcast there, and whenever we get around to the next episode. So
And where can people find you on the
I'm
social
not
medias?
interesting. I have a Twitter handle called Western Celebs and Japanese Ads.
that's for Instagram, right?
Yeah, it's on Instagram. What did I say?
You said Twitter.
Oh, I meant Instagram.
You should put it on Twitter. I think that those videos would get better
Yeah.
play on Twitter.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, I just post Western Celebs and Japanese Ads. So give that a follow, and my personal is not interesting. That's pretty much it, and then the rest is all the Cinemarketing stuff Mike said.
Yeah, right on. And also, I think are there still episodes of Crappy Madison floating around?
They exist. They're on the if you look them
That
up.
failed project.
But hey, the episodes you guys produced were great. Like, definitely worth
appreciate
listening
that.
to. So go check out those episodes as well.
Yeah, that was when we thought it was a good idea to watch every Happy Madison movie. It wasn't.
Yeah, and I don't have anything really too interesting. I'm Jack on 35mm on Instagram, Jack Patterson on Letterboxd.
Ooh, Letterboxd.
You ever think that anybody tries to find you on Instagram and they write out millimeter like fully instead of just mm?
Well, it's 35mm, guys.
Wait, you're watching movies on 35mm? I'm watching it on the Samsung 65-inch. 35mm seems pretty small.
Watching movies on your fucking telephone?
No, Samsung 65-inch, I said. That's a big-ass
That's
telephone.
a big telephone. Anyways,
Fucking telephone.
Lewis, finish us out here.
Yeah, guys, you
Finish
can
me off, Lewis.
All right. You guys can find me on Twitter at Louis J. Otero. You can find me on Instagram at RMRouletteLewis. Like I mentioned before, you can find us all on Twitter at RMRoulette. Get updates on the show. We'll let you know when we're going live. If you want to watch us live, please subscribe to us on Twitch, twitch.tv/RMRoulette. You can find not just the streams of these episodes, we also sometimes do game streams and other fun shit like that, so it's definitely worth subscribing to us over there. Also, we have a great website, rmroulette.com, where you can find all the audio versions of the episodes that are also available on all podcast services. We also have great blogs that were posted by Cody, who's hanging out in the chat. Definitely worth a read if you haven't checked them out yet. Also, I have a movie that I co-wrote that is coming out relatively soon. Go on Twitter and follow at maniac_none. for updates on Fontaine and the Vengeful Nun Who Wouldn't Die. It's a fucking wild, insane thing that I can't believe exists, and I'm so happy it does. So stay the fuck tuned. I also have another podcast on this. You can see this shit here. Gory Picture Show I do with Dr. Brandon Hardy from Vericon Video. We talk about just really gross cult movies. Most recently we did Necromantic. We've had Mike on, we've had Jack on, Anthony at some point. We should definitely have you on. We've had Jordan from Vericon on. It's wild. It's fun. We have a great time. Thank you all so much for joining us here tonight for this very, very weird episode on Howard the Duck. We will be back in about 1 month. And until then, don't watch Howard the Duck. I just don't think you should do it. I'm just gonna.
Still got time for the couch to fall out under us.
Ready? 1,